Hey there, I've got another book haul for you. Yes, another book haul. I forgot to show this one on the last one I did, book haul from the library, and I picked this one up, Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan. I've actually already started reading it. It's a pretty small book. It's the first David Levithan book I've ever come across, other than the collaborative one with John Green, Will Graceling, Will Grace, and I haven't read that one yet, but I thought I'd like to read one of his individual books first. And this, of course, is a YA book, contemporary. Love is never easy, especially if you're Paul. He's a sophomore at a high school like no other, and these are his friends. Infinite Darlene, the homecoming queen and star quarterback. I love this character. She is just amazing. One of those friends that walk into the room that just kind of has that personality that just everyone gravitates towards, lights up a room. Joni, Paul's best friend, who may not be his best friend anymore. Tony, his other best friend, who can't leave the house unless his parents think he's going on a date with a girl. Kyle, the ex-boyfriend who won't go away. Rip, the school bookie who sets the odds. And Noah, the boy, the one who changes everything. So, Paul, this is a story about Paul. He's the main character. It's not a book about his discovering his sexuality. He knows he's gay from when he's very young. He grows up in a wonderfully utopian society that's accepting of all forms of sexuality. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, transsexual. His parents are accepting of it. And he meets this young boy named Noah who's just moved into town. And a relationship starts to ensue. And then, of course, in walks the ex-boyfriend. So, like I said, I'm only about halfway through it. I am enjoying it immensely so far. I love the writing style, the characters. Very reminiscent of John Green. So I'm really looking forward to reading their collaboration together and also picking up more books from David Levithan. Very enjoyable characters, like I said. Now on to some new books I picked up and some used ones. I wore this shirt here. You'll see my England shirt in honor of the next book I picked up. This is an adult sci-fi book called God Save the Queen by Katie Locke. In the top front here it says, "The sun never rose on the British Empire." And it just sounded really quirky. The back says, "Keep calm and pray for dawn." Queen Victoria rules with an immortal fist. The undead matriarch of a Britain where the aristocracy is made up of werewolves and vampires, where goblins live underground, and mothers know better than to let their children out after dark. A world where being nobility means being infected with the plague. Side effects include undeath. Hysteria is the popular affliction of the day, and leeches are considered a delicacy. And a world where technology lives side by side with magic. The year is 2012, and Pax Britannia still reigns. Xandra Varden is a member of the elite royal guard, and it is her duty to protect the aristocracy. But when her sister goes missing, Xandra will set out on a path that undermines everything she believed in and uncover a conspiracy that threatens to topple the empire. And she is the key. The prize is a very dangerous struggle. That's the back cover. And it just sounds really quirky, kind of fun. It's part of the Immortal Empire series. This is book 1, God Save the Queen, and book 2 is The Queen is Dead, and book 3, Long Live the Queen. So, I was really excited to pick this up. It just, I hadn't even heard about it. Just like I said, I opened up a box on Friday, and there it was, and I'm like, okay, gotta bring that one home. Next one I also got at Barnes & Noble, and this is The Goddess Test. It's by Aimee Carter. This is her debut novel. It's been out a while. It's kind of a Greek mythology retelling of Persephone and Hades myth. And I happened to pick up a signed by the author copy. It just came in that way. And I'll read a little bit of the back. Every girl who has taken the test has died. Now it's Katie's turn. It's always been just Kate, I think it's Katie or Kate, and her mom. And her mother is dying. Her last wish to move back to her childhood home. So Kate's going to start at a new school with no friends, no other family, and the fear her mother won't live past the fall. Then she meets Henry, dark, tortured, and mesmerizing. He claims to be Hades, god of the underworld, and if she accepts his bargain, he'll keep her mother alive while Katie tries to pass 7 tests. Kate is... I keep saying Katie or Kate. I'm going to go with Kate. Make up her mind. Kate is sure he's crazy. Until she sees him bring a girl back from the dead. Now, saving her mother seems crazily possible. If she succeeds, she'll become Henry's future bride and a goddess. If she fails... And then it leaves it question mark. And just to show you, there's the signature on the inside. It's published by Harlequin Teen. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so I was really excited to see a signed copy come in. Then I picked up Gabrielle Zevin's All These Things I've Done. And this is kind of a YA futuristic, how do you describe this? A mafia crime story. Her her late father was the head of a crime syndicate. In her world, chocolate, coffee, things like that are illegal. Paper's hard to find. Her father ran sort of a chocolate manufacturing corporation. And when her ex-boyfriend turns up dead from apparent poisoned chocolate, she's led to blame, and she has to somehow set about proving her innocence. So that sounds kind of interesting. The crime book set in the future. Then another YA dystopian, again my favorite, by Courtney Summers, and This Is Not a Test. And I'll read a little bit about the back of this for you. What do you do when the line between the living and the dead is blurred? It's the end of the world. 6 students have taken cover in Cordage High, but shelter is little comfort when the dead outside won't stop pounding on the doors. Now seems like the perfect time to give up. For Sloane Price, the end has never been something to fear. 6 months ago, her world collapsed, and since then, she's failed to find a reason to keep going. When everything is gone, what do you hold on to? As the days crawl by and the motivations for survival change, the group's fate is determined less and less by what's happening outside, more and more by the unpredictable and violent bids for life and death inside. A haunting novel from the author of Cracked Up to Be and Fall for Anything. This Is Not a Test, is Courtney Summers at her absolute best. I have not read anything by this author, but again, you've got, zombies, survival kind of story, and it just sounds really intriguing how here's a girl who wanted to just end it all. Does she continue to fight for her life? Who knows? So, sounds intriguing. And then we got this book at work, but I heard that the same issue was available at a Target store, so you might want to check your Target stores, as a signed copy. So I picked this one up called Rapture by Lauren Kate, and this is the final book, the 4th and final book in the Fallen series. There's a signature. I was really happy to get that signed. Story about fallen angels. I have not read the actual series. So I wanted to get book 1, which I happened to pick up a little bit earlier at a half-price books. It's a little beat-up kind of paperback copy. And this is book 1, and I'll read what book 1's about here. What if the person you were meant to be with could never be yours? There's something achingly familiar about Daniel Grigori. Mysterious and aloof, he captures Lucy Price's attention from the moment she sees him on her first day at Sword and Cross boarding school in Savannah. He's the one bright spot in a place where cell phones are forbidden. The other students are screw-ups, and security cameras watch every move. Except Daniel wants nothing to do with Lucy. He goes out of his way to make that very clear, but she can't let him go. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame, Lucy has to find out what Daniel is so desperate to keep secret, even if it kills her. Dangerously exciting and darkly romantic, Fallen is a page-turning thriller and the ultimate love story. So, sounds pretty good. Of course, I'll have 2 other books in the middle of that to pick up. Also at half price, I picked up Marked, book 1 in the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristin Cast. Like I said, I've been picking these up little by little over there for like a couple bucks, some at the library. So I think I have almost all, but I think Untamed in the 1 through like 9. So pretty soon I'll have the entire series. And now that I have book 1, I can read what that one's about. Enter the dark magical world of the House of Night, a world very much like our own, except here vampires have always existed. 16-year-old Zoe Redbird has just been marked as a fledgling vampire and joins House of Night, a school where she will train to become an adult vampire. That is, if she makes it through the change, and not all those who are marked do. It sucks to begin a new life, especially away from her friends, and on top of that, Zoe is no average fledgling. She has been chosen as special by the vampire goddess Nyx. Zoe discovers she has amazing powers, but along with her powers come bloodlust and an unfortunate ability to imprint her human ex-boyfriend. To add to her stress, she is not the only fledgling at the House of Night with special powers. When she discovers that the leader of the Dark Daughters, the school's most elite group, is misusing her goddess-given gifts, Zoe must look deep within herself for the courage to embrace her destiny with a little help from her own vampire friends. So, and actually now that I really know what the whole series is about that I've been picking up, it does sound quite interesting, so I'm looking forward to reading that. And then another one, because zombies have been like the big thing lately. I was going to buy this full price, and then I thought, well, before I do, I'm going to stop in and see if I find it at a used bookshop. And I picked it up for $1. The Enemy by Charles Higson. And this is actually a school market edition, so it's maybe a little bit shorter or something by comparison than the standard one. It has got a little bit of wear, a little bit of worn and curled at the corners, but I don't care. It was $1. So the synopsis for this one. The enemy grabs you by the throat and bites off your ear. It's kids versus zombies, and no one is playing nice. The action, and boy is there action, takes us through a London transformed by the unexplained illness that has turned every adult into a shuffling, drooling, kid-crunching machine. Bonus, zombie royals. Sure fun. Hey, look, I got the right shirt for that again. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Zombies invade London. And the last two books I picked up, this one's a high fantasy YA Graceling by Kristin Cashore. I've heard so many good things about this. A friend of mine just finished listening to it on audio. She rented out. Highly recommends it. And again, this is Deadly Grace. I'm not sure how to pronounce this girl's name. I'll say Katza. I'm probably way wrong here, but Katza has been able to kill a man with her bare hands since she was 8. She's a Graceling, one of the rare people in her land born with an extreme skill. As niece of the king, she should be able to live a life of privilege. But graced as she is with killing, she is forced to work as the king's thug. When she first meets Prince Po, graced with combat skills, Katza has no hint of how her life is about to change. She never expects to become Po's friend. She never expects to learn a new truth about her own grace, or about a terrible secret that lies hidden far away. So it's been a long time since I've read anything of like a, pure fantasy, high fantasy type story. So, yeah, I hope to get to that sometime fairly soon. And the very last book is book 2 in the Cashore Chronicles. This is by Aimee, Garcia, and Margaret Stohl. It's Beautiful Darkness, and it's a hardcover. Well, again, I got it, pretty cheap at the used bookshop. It's in really good shape. Another monster book. It's like all 3 books are this size, and now I do have all 3 books, so I can eventually get to it. But I was just missing this one in the whole series, so that's the entire book haul I have for you today, and maybe next one I'll be back with a review or something. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later.